What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. I'm getting pretty good at this. Look out. I may start doing the intros.
No. Watch out, Rhea.
Rhea is feeling better. She's on the way up, I think, but she's definitely not there. I do think we're under the impression that what she has is some kind of viral thing, which in that case, do not come into the office.
Yep, leave us alone.
We do not want to have whatever it is you have. Kelly Keegs is back in the second chair once again.
Here I am. Hope you're not sick of me.
Yeah, and I do think everyone's please continue to send nice messages to Rhea. And like I said, I do believe she's starting to feel a tad bit better, but not quite there yet where she should be around other people.
Yes.
Especially if this is something that I don't even know what exactly it is.
Nobody knows what's going on quite
But
yet. So just safe.
She will have a triumphant return.
Oh, yes.
Like she's going to be ready to go when we come back.
I know that she really is feeling shitty because the other day when she wasn't here for cutting stems, she texted us on the side and was like, I really wish I was there. And that's how you know. That I'm feeling shitty.
That she actually
never wants to be here.
Missed watching a Bachelor show because
she hates the Bachelor. So I know that.
You know what? I also just realized that when everyone listened to Cutting Stems, I was giving Trent a really hard time for not being here next week.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not here next week.
Oh, no.
Kelly and Rhea, or possibly just Kelly.
So it's just me. Imagine. I would
we are
love if it was just me. I would sit
funny.
solo in that bed and make it an hour-long show.
Oh, my God.
Not kidding. I would do it.
We are counting on Rhea being back, but I keep messing up my days. And when it's a different month.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's October, baby. Like, that's far away. I'm like, we're still in September. That's not next week. It is next week, the Dozen Live show in Philly, which I am a part of. If you want to come, tickets are available. You can buy tickets, which was good. It's going to be a lot of fun. It is Tuesday night in Philly. So I will not be here.
Damn. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
And also,
that'll be interesting.
Bachelor in Paradise is on 2 nights a week.
2 nights a week. That's something that we discovered this morning. Right. It'll be Monday and Tuesday every week. It ends by November 1st is the finale, which I love. Love to hear that. Shorts.
Wow, that's early.
Yeah, it is.
It's
early.
It's on for a month.
It's only a month, but it's usually only on for a month. Is the thing. Like it's usually only on for the month of August, and so now that it's changing. But last year they made it longer for some reason. I feel like it was more weeks or something. I don't know, but. So Cutting Stems will be on Tuesdays this month because we don't do a show.
No, we're gonna do both. We'll do both days on Tuesday, but it's funny because I thought like there was a whole thing with ABC with Monday Night Football, which is why Dancing with the Stars got moved. But now Bachelor in Paradise is on Monday nights.
Yeah, Monday
so I guess
will probably be just boring.
Probably,
I guess only some. Like they did only the first couple Monday Night Football games on ABC, like because they did that doubleheader situation. I don't know. I
no idea what's going on.
I don't know what's going on over there, but Bachelor in Paradise is on Mondays and Tuesday nights. For those listening who didn't know, we probably broke that news to a lot of people.
We just found that out. We just found that out.
Would be my guess.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah. So other than that, guys, it's just been a long week. I miss Rhea.
I miss Rhea too. I miss her. She always has good vibes. She's good energy. When she comes around. It feels like the place is busy. I'm sure you guys miss her so much.
It's just like coming into work. I'm like, she's not even here.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm like, what's my purpose? I feel lost.
A hole in our hearts.
My other half. It's
exactly
a lot of giggles from you. You don't miss her?
Oh no, I miss you, Rhea.
Oh, that was nice.
That was convincing. That was
nice.
Yeah.
I do.
I feel like we're in constant contact with her though, so it's like she's not really not here. Like,
yeah, it's true.
I know,
I talk to her all the time.
I do feel like she's just on her couch. She has so many takes to fire off, and she just misses being able to put them on the podcast.
Yesterday, I was up at my new apartment building furniture, and I like told her I was building furniture. She's like, "Oh my god, show me everything." So after I was finishing building things, I sent her a picture of something. She's like, "Send me everything when you're done with this." Like that's how I know she's bored. She's requesting photos of the furniture I'm building in my house.
Yeah. Not too much to get to in the intro. We have a lot of topics to talk about, but I will say that Noah went to see Don't Worry, Darling. He said he almost walked out.
Shut up, Noah.
I didn't like it.
That
at
sounds.
all.
First of all, we've already declared the other day. I forget if it was
Snobby
on air or
movie
off.
fan. No, we said it while we were watching Bachelor in Paradise.
Snobby movie guy. Okay, I don't know if I've ever walked out of a movie.
I've done it before. What was the movie?
What did you walk out of?
It is.
I think it was the Ashton Kutcher Steve Jobs movie.
Oh wow, I saw that. I saw the premiere of that movie
about
with Ashton
walking out.
Kutcher.
Like obviously,
he was there with me.
Not the make like.
And Zoolander too.
Oh, well, that was a terrible movie.
The creator of the movie is, of course, not in the theater with you, but there is just something so disrespectful about walking out in a movie.
Like, I can't even sit here and watch
at the theater.
this.
Like, you can't even sit there for one more second. You paid to see the movie.
You know, it's like one of those movies where you're checking your phone, like how much time is left. Like, oh my god.
Damn.
Like,
see,
that was just me. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'll never like leave a movie. I also will never turn a movie off on TV. Do you do that ever? Like, if I start a movie,
yeah,
I'm just gonna watch the movie.
Like, yeah, I gotta watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I give it a chance all the way to the end, and if it sucked, it sucked. But it's an hour and a half of my life. You know what I mean? Like, what else am I doing? Am I gonna just rewatch?
I mean, it wasn't the worst
Sex
thing
and the City again. Like,
it was just, I was like, I don't like this. Like, and it just felt boring.
Damn.
Harry, I'm like,
people. Sometimes Noah talks. I feel like the Eeyore music should be.
Oh.
Dead? My camera just shut off.
Oh yeah,
that's Olivia Wilde.
The GoPro just revolted and said, "How dare you even think about walking out of the movie?" No, I was saying sometimes, like, there should just be the Eeyore music playing.
100%. Yeah, it's like the wah, wah, wah,
It was funny though that when Harry would have like really emotional or intense scenes, the whole crowd would just burst out laughing. Like the movie theater. Everyone would like start laughing.
Maybe it's because it's such
was
like
it
a
a full theater?
It was pretty full. It wasn't full.
What theater were you at?
Lincoln Center.
Lincoln Center. Okay.
But it was like the first time you see him as like the American version of himself, and he's like looks ugly and starts talking in an American accent. Everyone starts laughing.
Maybe that's why they're laughing. Cause it's like we know Harry Styles is like this British rock star, and now he's playing this like American fuckboy or whatever.
I mean, I can't believe I haven't seen it yet. I think I'm gonna go tomorrow.
That's a good idea.
I think you'll be like, oh, it was fine.
Yeah.
You won't hate it, but you'll be like, eh.
I said, for those that listen to the Lights, Camera, Barstool, the movie guys, I can't remember a movie recently that Ken Jack and Jeff D. Lowe have disagreed on score-wise in quite some time.
Big disparity there. Yeah, big disparity, yeah.
Jeff D gave it I think it was like a 72, and Ken Jack gave it a 39.
That is
a big difference.
It's a huge difference, and that's tough.
I feel like that's like the range I'd be in 30.
Yeah,
like it's not
30s.
It's not like 10.
Yeah,
we were saying that Ken Jack is more of he is also more of a snob, movie snob, like you.
But I feel like it would almost be a cool take to like it because everyone's like not liking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the pendulum has swung all the way back around.
I have to say though,
like it. Everyone keeps telling me
I
I like it.
I really don't like how much conversation has been around it before I've actually seen it, because I feel like my opinion is already tainted.
Yes,
like everybody doesn't like it so much that I'm so determined to like it that I think I agree completely. That I think I'm just gonna force myself to like it.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I'm gonna have to really try and go in with an open mind and block out what everybody else
I agree completely.
Said.
Like I might go see this movie and then just like ride or die for it and fight people on the internet.
Exactly.
About it, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I don't know. It's like I'm feeling a little crazy.
I know.
I don't like all the shit that Olivia Wilde kept getting. I mean, yes, whatever. We don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know. Blah blah blah. I do think it sucks that she directed this movie and it just basically got torpedoed into the fucking ground. Like, does she deserve that? I don't know.
Like, partly due to things that she did, right?
Yeah, I guess, but like, I don't know. I feel like there's extra hate. I feel like there's extra hate because of whatever. Like, I just feel like people are. We need to relax. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everybody's taking it too far.
About it when like it was her. It would be a scene between just her and Florence, and you're like.
That's what I mean. Like I also feel like that. I feel like that all that like ruins the movie, right? It ruins the movie and whatever. Like I would love to have known what that movie would have been like if all the drama didn't happen. I guess is what I'm saying. Like I feel like people are not separating the art from the artist and whatever. You know.
I agree with you.
A little bit bothersome to me.
I agree with you. I think you're very right on that.
Yeah,
it does feel that way. Okay, so we have some topics to get into today. Hailey Bieber was on Call Her Daddy. It's what everybody is talking about. It's very intense. I'll be honest, we're going to talk about it. I know the bare roots of this, but there was a cheating scandal within the Try Guys, and everybody really freaked out about this.
No, I have heard more about these Try Guys in the past week than I ever have in my entire life. Like I didn't know who these people were.
So many articles written about them. He's all over Page 6. I'm like, what is going on? So we'll talk about that. Hilaria Baldwin and Alec Baldwin have had a new child.
Yep.
She named her daughter Hilaria.
Right.
minus the H. So we'll discuss that.
Just the same name.
And Billy Ray Cyrus may be engaged to a young Australian singer, potentially, not quite sure. We also have a phenomenal interview with Billy Eichner, whose new movie Bros is out today, which I really enjoyed the movie. I know we're talking about going to the movies. Bless you. Going to the movies. That one, I've seen it. I recommend. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was great. And that'll be your little taste of Rhea on the podcast because she is here for that interview. She was here for that interview. Regardless of her not being here this whole week, because we've had interviews that we had recorded weeks ago, she's still there. She's still there. We still got her.
Like a ghost.
Her presence is here. Yeah.
We still got her.
Just the little day-to-day stuff.
Exactly. You know? So it's a great interview with Billy. We have a lot of fun with him. We thought it was in person, and we're really disappointed when it was on Zoom.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
That was tough.
I forgot about that. I won some money.
Yeah, we.
Oh yeah.
We had to pay Noah $20 each because we bet him that.
You should have seen their face. How convinced
we
were.
Like,
it's in person.
We
Noah.
were.
I'm like, I know it's
Rhea
not.
and I were 100% convinced it was in person. Like we were ready to pay. Honestly, it could have been more than. It could have been more than $20. That's how passionate we were and how confident we were.
Damn.
And we were wrong.
There's not much better than seeing Fran's face.
Yeah, I was like,
when she knows she's
we were wrong.
Yeah,
we were wrong.
Damn,
yeah.
I would hate to be in both of your positions. There's
I
nothing
slightly
I hate
blame
more than
Kelly
being
Martin,
wrong.
but
there's nothing I hate more than being wrong. Like, oh my god, I hate it, especially when I'm feeling confident like that. Forget it.
You just never admit it. That's what I do.
Yeah, no, same. That's also kind of what I do. I'll spin it to make it make sense.
You start spinning and then go in a different
I'll blame
direction.
you. I'll be like, well, obviously I thought that because you told me this, and so obviously I'm thinking that. Like, no, it's a toxic trait.
The most frustrating thing that Noah does.
Yeah,
but you do it too. I think we all do it. That's why
we're defensive. I'm defensive.
Yeah. I think I've gotten a little better at admitting when I'm wrong. Slightly.
I'll admit when I'm wrong when it matters. I have too. When it doesn't matter, like it's something stupid like that, I was wrong. We Venmoed you $20 right on the spot.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was what happened there.
That sucks. But
well, that was so cut and dry. It's like he's not here.
Yes, correct. There was no argument there. That was
arguing.
just either he was showing up or he wasn't.
Fuck.
It was on Zoom, but it was still great. So we have that, and we can kick it off with Hailey Bieber on Color Daddy. If you missed your chance at a summer fling, why not make it a freaky fall? If you're interested in exploring some new things, Dipsea Stories can help you explore all your desires. Dipsea Stories is an app full of sexy audio stories, and now they even have brand new written stories. No matter what or who you're into or what turns you on, Dipsea helps bring the stories to life anytime, anywhere. You just close your eyes and let yourself get lost in a world where only good things happen and pleasure is your only priority. You can explore your fantasies in a safe, shame-free way. There are hundreds of stories to choose from, and they release new content every week, so there's always more to explore. And they also have wellness sessions to help you wind down and explore, and sleep sessions to help you drift off. For listeners of the show, Dipsea is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/chicks. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/chicks. dipseastories.com/chicks. Okay, big interview. Alex Cooper interviewed Hailey Bieber on Call Her Daddy. I think everyone was freaking out when we saw the teaser. They were talking about Selena, or as should I say, Justin's ex.
Yeah, Justin's ex. Yeah, they didn't say her name one
Just
time.
Just exclusively call her Justin's ex.
Yeah. Which I'm sure they probably can't, right? Or maybe they don't want sound
either
bites
they can't sound bites. I don't know. That's just like a safety measure. I feel like
for sure.
You know, it's like Beetlejuice. She's like, I'll talk about her, but we don't need to like say her name 1,000 times.
Right, yeah. Like Beetlejuice, like Bloody Mary. Yeah. All those things.
Yeah. Selena.
Yeah. She shows up in the mirror. Kills the whole family.
So
that's what Bloody Mary does.
It was a fairly long interview, I will say.
It was long, 65 minutes, I think. Yeah.
And here are my general thoughts about it. We can get into it more, but Hailey, this is the situation of Hailey and Selena being compared to each other has been going on for years now, even before these two got married.
Yep.
And I just feel like Hailey's reached the point where she wants to let it all go.
Yes.
It's just, let me talk about it, move on. I think Selena Gomez comes from the Taylor Swift school of publicity, and their rule, hard and strong, is do not talk about any of your personal shit in interviews ever, ever, ever. You can write your songs about them, but you never talk about it out loud in public.
Right.
Ever.
Never out loud. No names. Never a name.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So it really does feel like Selena has always taken that route. For Hailey, it's just, if for Hailey's mental health, it's like, I just need to tell my side of something or talk about how it affects me, and I can move on with my life, then she is more than granted. Like, she's allowed to do that.
100%.
And I also think, people are pointing at the timing of this, right? It's the end of September. Selena has a new documentary coming out the beginning of November. They thought, oh, maybe she's trying to get ahead of something. Now, rumors that I've seen is that there's not a lot of relationship topics in the Selena documentary. So I don't really know if that has much to do with it, or if just Hailey wants to move on with her life too. We've had guests on our show that have been in some sort of scandal or something previously, and they come on and their publicist is like, oh, she's not answering any questions about blank. She already did in this interview. Like, you can cite that interview, but we're not getting into it any more than that.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this could also be Hailey's way of being like, I'm doing this one time. I'm going to talk about it.
Yes.
And then I can move on with my life. And any time I do press, if they ask me, like, if I have a hard rule, like I'm not talking about Selena, they can say, oh, well, why? And it's just like, I've already talked about it.
Yes.
Period. Like, then I don't, you don't have to go back and
completely
revisit it, which makes the most sense to me. And honestly, like, the majority of the interview did feel like it was focused on that part of her life. And I like Alex's interview style a lot. I think sometimes she does put on a therapist hat a little bit too much, only where it felt there were some points where I felt like Hailey really wanted to move on, or there was other aspects that she could have asked about instead of really harboring on, like, well, how were you feeling, or how did this make you feel when this was all happening? It's like, we know it sucked, and what else is she gonna say?
After the third or fourth, like, how did you feel in that moment? It's kind of a lot, you know?
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It gets
So
a lot.
I think she wanted to clarify a lot of facts of she made it very clear there was no overlap. She never dated Justin when Selena was dating Justin, and it seems like vice versa. And it just felt like that was what she wanted to say, and she wanted to get that on the record of, like, I am not a homewrecker. I did not do that. When Justin and Selena were together right before Hailey and Justin reunited and then got engaged shortly after, it was a close the book, closure type situation for Justin and Selena. And then they were able to move on, and they've all been able to move on. The public just hasn't been able to move on, and the fan base hasn't been able to move on. But those, like, 30-ish plus minutes that they focused on this was a lot, which makes me think that Hailey going to this was like, this is the interview where I'm talking about all of this. Yes. Ask all the questions, and then I'm not doing it anymore.
Completely. I could not agree more. I very much think it's almost the only reason she did this interview. Like, I think that she chose to do this interview solely so she could talk about this. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about, like, why'd they so much or focus so much on this situation. They didn't even really ask her about herself or about her life or what she's doing and her, like, makeup line or whatever the fuck. What is she doing? Skincare.
Her skincare
line and all that stuff. Whatever.
The one thing I actually did, I don't care about that as much. I wish she did. I wish we got to hear more about her female friendships. Like, I'm very fascinated by, like, her relationship with Kendall and Kylie and all that. Like, I would love to have heard about that.
Yeah, that's super fair. But I also just think, like, she can talk about those things anywhere else. She's had a million interviews she's done, like, the Vogue thing. She's done Vanity Fair. She's done all these other interviews where you can learn those more surface level things about her. You can hear that PR pitch for her company. You can hear, like, whatever. She's not coming on Call Her Daddy to, like, give a business pitch and talk about, like, her life or whatever. Like, what she wants to talk about is the shit that she's gone through, because most people go on Call Her Daddy to get some shit off their chest. and they know that Alex will ask the questions that they're probably uncomfortable answering, but they're going to answer them because they never have before. And I feel like that's just the whole vibe of the show. So her going on there and talking about this at length and clearing the air and whatever, I feel is both informative for all of us to get us kind of off her back and maybe help her a little bit. I also think it's cathartic for her. She has it in one space.
Yep.
I think Alex is a good interviewer, and in the way that she is very conversational, and she's clearly easy to talk to. It seems like they have a little bit of a friendship going on already.
That's another major thing. I do think like Alex and Hailey, I feel, know each other. I think Hailey has been a fan of the show for a long time.
For sure. They've been that's a big part. In the show, they hung out on vacation one time.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too. It's like Hailey may have thought, I'm a big fan of Call Her Daddy. I really want to one day do that show. I think maybe she just wanted to push herself a little bit and do something out of her comfort zone.
I feel like she literally said that. She was like, I just need to, like, as you can see, I'm like uncomfortable. She was like, slinking up into the chair, like I'm so uncomfortable, but like I need to answer questions.
There's also no way they didn't discuss what was going to be said in this interview.
Zero chance she didn't come in being like, I'm not talking about this, I'm not talking about that.
Or she didn't have some idea what the questions were going to be like.
Exactly. I could be
wrong with that, but I really don't. I can't imagine
like,
she went in blind.
Even just as like a friend, like you want to know. Even if your friend is interviewing, like if I come on Chicks in the Office and I don't know what you guys are going to ask me, and you ask me some like personal shit that I don't want to talk about, I'd be like, guys, what the fuck? Like, like, what's happening here? Like you have that conversation, like, all right, we're going to bring it up. Is that cool? And if you hear it, it's like, fuck, I'm nervous, but yes, it's fine. I also think regarding the timing of this interview, I don't necessarily think that she's trying to get ahead of something that's coming in this Selena documentary. I do think that she wanted this interview to come out first. Maybe not like the week before, but definitely first, because when that documentary comes out, this is going to kick right back up again. Like Selena hasn't really, what's Selena been up to besides Only Murders in the Building? Like she's been acting a little bit now. Yeah. She hasn't put out music in a while, if I'm thinking correctly. Like she hasn't been as front facing in Hollywood in a while, I feel. And now when this documentary comes out, everybody's going to be talking about it. Everybody's going to be talking about her past, her life. It was obviously filmed in years past and is like however long, at least the past couple of years. I don't know if it's since the pandemic. It's supposed to be
like 6 years.
Okay, well, so then, this is going to be involved in it. And not saying not saying that like.
They might just gloss over
it.
They
might gloss over it.
Selena, I can't.
Right. Well, they might gloss over it, but I'll say this.
Shocked if there is a big portion focused on relationships in this documentary.
But what people will do is they will connect the dots and do the timeline. And I know, and we all know, that Selena's been through some shit. Yeah. So when we see her on the screen going through some shit, the blame is going to come back to Justin, whether or not she mentions him, and Hailey, whether they mention them or not. You know what I mean? Like people are going to think that. It's going to kick it all back up. People are going to be commenting on Hailey's shit. Like it's just going to be... So I don't necessarily think that she's trying to like clear her name or get out in front of anything. I think that the only thing she's trying to get out in front of is like maybe the people that are going to troll her soon will take a step back and think for a second before they do that, because they're like, okay, we already heard that story. We know that it wasn't as bad or whatever. And yes, now we're seeing someone going through a hard time potentially, but maybe it stops them from harassing her.
It's just unfortunate. When you marry a man as famous as Justin Bieber. I mean, that's not unfortunate, but it's unfortunate when his ex is also one of the most famous women in the entire world.
Tough. It's really tough.
Her fans are so dedicated, so ruthless, where Hailey's going to be dealing with Selena fans when she's 80 years old.
Forever.
Like it's just, it's insanity. It never ends. I think that there's been a lot of fallout from just her doing this interview, which I'm sure she expected, but the Call Her Daddy Instagram like turned off comments on one of the last posts with her. Like I just think like it's so crazy, and the feedback is always so crazy when it's just like Hailey's got to be so tired of just let this girl talk. She can't live her life afraid to do press or interviews or talk about her life, when in the back of her mind she has to always worry about, well, how are Selena's fans going to react to this? Right. Like imagine it's not even your own fans. It's like you have to worry about how Selena's fans are going to react every single time you do something.
Knowing that they're automatically going to hate you. Like everything you say, it's like you have to, if this were me, everything I said, all I'd be thinking about was how it's going to be twisted against me by the Selena fans. Like that's, and it's just a negative way to live.
I know.
But how else can you live when it's just constant harassment? And I fucking hate these. Like I know that people get hype for celebrities and they're these crazy fans and whatever. Like I'm hyped for Taylor Swift, but I don't harass Jake Gyllenhaal in my free time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't understand the need to do that. Like, I understand talking shit. You want to talk shit with your friends. You want to, do whatever. Why are you targeting, commenting, like getting
psychologically?
There's going to be crazy.
There'll have to be some. I don't know what it is of these people who have these
people
accounts.
Just really think people think that nobody will see it. People are like, oh, it's falling into the void. It's like, yeah, but the entire void is toxic sludge. So why are you adding to it? Makes no sense. I feel like I've been talking about this a lot lately because I feel like I've just been.
I know.
I've also been quicksanding into toxic sludge from the internet lately. Like, just it's weird.
I just like don't know anybody in my real life that does that.
Nope,
like,
me neither. Me neither. Not a single fucking soul, or at least I hope not.
Right.
If I have a friend that fucking does that in their free time, like, get out of my life, dude. Like, it's absolutely not. It's crazy. It is crazy behavior.
So I mean, look, at the end of the day, I thought like Hailey handled this all really well. She came off really well. I thought she seems so sweet and this is what I keep saying. At the end of the day, two girls like Kelly, you and I could be sweet as pie, just the nicest human beings. But if we share an ex or one of us is with somebody that the other one dated, like, no matter how nice you are, I'm deep down not gonna like you.
No, of course not. Literally, of course not. There's never a scenario where that's not uncomfortable.
And that's fine. Like like Hailey said, she has a lot of respect for Selena, and apparently they had a conversation after Justin and Selena got married, and they've all moved on from this, but the world can't seem to move on. And it is totally fine for Hailey and Selena to be able to live their lives separately and not have to deal with always being compared and all these things. It's wild. So I do have a statement.
Oh yes, read the statement.
To read from Rhea. She wanted this to be read on the show.
Prepared statement.
Written statement. She said, "Please read my statement regarding the Selena and Hailey drama." I'm sad that I cannot be here to address Hailey Bieber's interview on Call Her Daddy because, as you guys know, I have been a J-Lee stan for quite some time, as well as a Selena Gomez fan. Yes, you can be a fan of both. I think the hate towards Hailey is absolutely ridiculous, and people really need to get a life. They rip apart every single thing this girl says or does when, for the most part, she has minded her own business and is now finally speaking about her life. It seems like they have moved past it, so everybody else should too. People move on from relationships and find someone better suited for them, which seems to be the case here with Justin, Hailey, and Selena. Justin and Selena turned out to not be compatible in the end, but it seems like Hailey and Justin have a loving marriage. It's also insulting to Selena Gomez that people think she can't move on. Why can't everyone just let them all be? End scene. She would also like me to add, there is something powerful about the written word.
Yeah,
she is right.
She's gonna write a blog soon. She's gonna get so bored.
I know that's that's at the level.
I know.
So I mean, Rhea's absolutely right,
no,
and I do think, like, as far as, I don't know, I go both ways because I'm sure they had a conversation beforehand about this is going to be the interview we're talking about all this stuff
for sure.
Definitely. So I get why it was at the length that it was. Personally, I would have preferred if that conversation was just like a little bit shorter, because I do think we know that Hailey gets a lot of hate. I think she can talk about it, but when that's the conversation, it's like, yes, it's important for her to talk about it. Let her say her feelings. If there's something she wants to say about the timeline, she can say it, and then, like, let's move on to other stuff. And of course, she's on Call Her Daddy, so they were talking about some sex stuff, which Hailey seemed kind of uncomfortable talking about.
She definitely seemed uncomfortable with it. But, and another complaint people have was like, why is she asking about that too? Of course she agreed to talk about it. It's like the sex show. Like, it's a sex podcast, whatever. Of course she was going to say it. And like, if she's so worried about like what people are going to say, the first thing she says is, I like doggy style. That's advanced. Like, she's fine. Like, she's cool talking about it. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, she's a grown woman. She can say doggy. She can say she likes doggy style.
For 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. Right? Like, I hope she's getting hit from behind like that from Justin Bieber. I hope it. Like, we'd love to hear about it. Like, that's fine.
Well,
whatever.
That was funny when she was like,
stop acting like she's like the Virgin Mary who's doing anal for the first time or something.
I know, but it's funny because she definitely, like, she was open to talking about it, sort of, but it also seemed like she was like, oh, I just have this idea that people don't really care about married people's sex lives. It's like, Hailey, like, girl, that is false.
Come on now.
That is false. You are on Call Her Daddy. I will say, though, like, I think part of some of my favorite parts were at the end when she was talking about it's like almost like the end credits, like jokes,
her, like,
where she's talking about her the first time she got drunk and like in the sleepovers at her friend's house, like because that felt very relatable.
Totally. I mean, like extremely relatable. She was referencing clubs that I've been to and the hangover cure I have in the morning. Like that was the most relatable.
Bacon, egg, and cheese and a blue Gatorade.
Yep.
She was talking about
up and
having
down.
her cousin come pick her up in high school, having to take the empties because the parents, they didn't want her friend's parents to find them, throwing them in a random dumpster at a restaurant, which we've all done.
Everybody's done it. Everyone has done it.
I had my go-to dumpster behind the Myersville Inn.
Of course. Mine was at a park down the street, the Hillcrest Park. Shout out to Hillcrest Park in
throw it
New
in
Jersey.
the dumpster. And she was like, and talking about fucking Pinnacle vodka. I'm like, ugh.
Hilarious.
But just so funny.
No,
and
but I totally agree.
It was like, you know what? Because it's hard. It's very hard sometimes to relate to someone like Hailey Bieber in the life she has now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because it's like, okay, well, you can,
no
matter how many times you say, I'm just this girl from New York and I'm relatable. It's like, yes, it's hard for the normal person to connect with that sometimes.
Yeah.
But when you tell stories of like, this is what I was doing and this was my 16-year-old self and these are like the funny times that we had, that's when people are like, oh my God, I did the same stuff.
Exactly.
Maybe I too one day can marry
right,
the
exactly,
most
right.
man in
Well,
the world.
I don't understand at what point the narrative shifted from like, holy shit, she's just a normal girl. She is the one less lonely girl. Like she was a Justin Bieber fan and then she got married. Like that can happen for all of us. And then all of a sudden it was like everybody hates you for what? It really is sad
because she did have such like, it is such a
so
fairy
sweet.
tale love story.
Yes.
And
I loved that she pointed out that
tainted.
they like had been hanging out and like dating on and off whatever since she was 18 years old. Like that it's not like she came out of nowhere and married Justin Bieber. Like they were
at the end of the day, like
together on and off for a long time.
Justin Bieber is the one that was bouncing back and forth between Hailey and Selena.
Right.
Like it
but
was.
Of course, God forbid.
said that like Nicki Minaj in that song.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber. Gotta keep an eye out for Selena.
But what was I just gonna say? Fuck.
Like Justin was in his early 20s.
I remember
bouncing back and forth between two girls.
Yes, he's that's fuckboy behavior.
Yeah,
like that is
which she did kind of alluded to.
Yeah, which was fine, but like give Justin some shit too. But anyway, or just don't give anybody shit because nobody cares.
Or just move on. It's just
I don't.
It sucks because I do think Hailey was like, I'm talking about this now. It's going to stir everything up because she did say the comments have gotten.
People are nice.
It has
and supportive
lessened
and whatever. Yeah. She made a point to say that. She made a
did
point
say
to be
it
like,
is
there are
definitely
people that are
lessened.
supportive and are nice and they reach out or whatever. But wait, I have a question.
And it's all coming back now. But
does when Selena's dating somebody new, like does The Weeknd get shit?
No,
that's ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? Like think about it like that. Like if Selena's dating somebody new, it's not like, I mean, Selena and Justin broke up. It's not like he dumped her, she dumped him. Like they broke up. Like they are an equal playing field at that time. And when they're both in new relationships, only Justin's girlfriends
Bieber's the
get
X factor. It's just like he's so big.
I guess so. Yeah,
it is, and I really do. I do think because look, at that time, like everybody was so in love with Justin and Selena. They were that couple.
Well, they were like children. It was like first love teenagers.
Yes.
And it's like,
but because everybody was so obsessed with Justin at that time, everybody was so obsessed with that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true, and that just seemed like it was such puppy love. Like it was so cute. You saw Justin in his interviews. It's like, oh, who's your celebrity crush? He's like Selena Gomez, and then they start dating, and it's just like it was very sweet. I think it turned toxic.
Of course, it turned toxic. We all know that. I feel like that's common knowledge that it was like the most toxic relationship in Hollywood. That's all I know. So says about them.
It made sense for it to end. Justin moved on, Hailey moved on, Selena moved on. It seemed like them in their life, they have completely moved on from all of this. I really do feel like maybe Hailey could have done this 2 years ago if she wanted to, but it's hard. And
I also
maybe she wasn't in the place. Through a lot of therapy.
Right.
And she said last year she went to like this very intensive 7-day like therapy session.
It sounded nice. I would like to
sound
do that.
nice.
I would
at
like
some
to do
facility.
That shit. Yeah, where it's like drop the name, Hailey. I'm trying to go.
I know.
I probably can't afford it.
So it's like if you're doing all that work on yourself and you finally are in a place in your life where you're like, okay, I really want to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are going to freak out. I know it's going to drag all this up again, but I need to do this and then I can hopefully move on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she came to that decision that was just like, I need to be able to do this when then I can finally just keep going.
Yeah.
And I certainly relate to that more than, look, I'm not a fucking A-list celebrity, but I can relate to that a lot more than the celebrities that just keep everything to themselves so quietly.
Completely.
I understand that if you can make peace with your life, that like if you can make peace with that and you just like, I know the truth and I don't care what anybody else thinks.
Exactly.
That's fine. But if you are like, look, I just publicly really want to say what I want to say.
I could never see like I think that her delay in speaking is something that if I were in a situation like that, I think I would be trigger shy as well. Like I would not know, because if I were speaking from emotion year one or like a week after she has to do that video, like stop harassing me, like I'm coming from a place of like panic, emotion, sadness, like whatever. Yeah. I need time to process how I feel about it to be even able to talk about it. Like I have had exes who date new girls who it takes me 5 years to even say their name. Like you know what I mean? Like because I'm so fucking pissed, and it's like that kind of shit. And she's not really like that, but it hurts to have to talk about the person that you love's another like their old relationship. It's like, why the fuck doesn't this like Grim Reaper just leave? Like what's happening here? It just sounds like the worst. Ugh.
I know.
It just sounds like the worst. I could never date somebody that's dated somebody famous.
I know.
Not that like, oh, you know. Yeah. But like normal people date famous people. And I could never with like a famous I could never.
So I just hope that Hailey that we can, you know, move on from this, and I don't know, we'll see what's in the Selena documentary, if there is anything, if there's not. But I know Hailey hasn't really, people have been noticing that she like didn't really reshare anything from the interview, which I also understand.
I mean, she doesn't
like,
need to.
She doesn't need to. Everybody knows that it's there. And I think for her, it's like, I said what I said on the show, and now I really don't want to talk about it anymore.
Exactly.
And everyone's going to listen. And maybe that can be the end of it. It probably won't. But I think if it brought her any kind of piece of just like, I want to move on from this. Yeah. And Alex asked her, you know, did Justin or anybody ever like intervene when all the hate's going on? And she said no. Yeah. Which I understand.
I couldn't tell if she was pissed about that or not. She was like, no. But then she was like, and I understand. Yeah. But then I also was
the
like,
way that she said like, well, maybe Selena like knows that it's not going to help, like made it sound like she was just saying like,
she definitely
people feel bad for her.
Yeah. No, she definitely framed it as like, Selena doesn't owe me anything. She doesn't have to say anything to her fans. Like, if she did, would it be nice? Yeah. Like, but like, she doesn't have to
say shit.
Which I think is honestly, that is a very fair opinion.
Super fair.
Like, I think we all think Hailey in her mind was probably like, would it have been nice if someone said, like, fucking calm down, everyone?
Like, hey, relax,
but
y'all.
Nobody owes me that.
I also think that, I mean, there's always the shit like Selena potentially making fun of the way that Hailey does her skincare. Like, there's always like little things, whatever, like that. I did like Alex Cooper's joke being like, you know, she can't just like throw a heart in your comments on a TikTok. Like that's agreed. Like just because
that literally would probably end it all.
Like 100%. Like I don't think that like if I ever was put in that position where my like ex-boyfriend's wife is having a hard time because of my fans harassing her, I think like I'd let it go on for a little while. I'd be like, all right.
But that's the thing,
you know what
like,
I mean? But then there has to be a point
like,
where
people wanted Taylor to say something too, when like Jake Gyllenhaal was getting. It's like,
no.
It's like, but it's like.
Well, see, that I think is a little bit different, only because that's like directly at her ex.
Didn't Jake Gyllenhaal publicly say like?
No, but I'm saying that's
like.
I don't know
if
he did.
Insinuating that she should have said something, or.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think he did. Like,
he's definitely a little like he's a little.
I think he's talked about like her fan base.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He never said like, oh, she could. I don't think he ever said like, oh, she could have told them to stop.
No, I mean it's not her.
No, but
like,
I'm saying there's a difference. There's a difference between. There's a difference between doing that for your ex and doing for that for your ex's wife.
Yes, and that is the difference. Like I would never like if I'm you know, whoever and is my ex, I need to like help him out of a hole. I'm not doing that. Yeah. Like fuck you, whatever. You did what you did. I'm talking about my life. But yes, if we've broken up, he's got a new wife. She didn't do anything. She's just as a victim of circumstance. And at some point, you feel bad for them. You have such the upper hand when it comes to the internet. When you're Selena Gomez versus Hailey Bieber, it's fine to come down from your ivory tower for a second and throw a little something.
Yeah, and you know,
I would do that. I would feel guilty. Should I feel guilty?
I guess not.
I would feel literally so guilty.
I guess not, which just makes me think that there's and this is not a crazy thing to say, but there's obviously so much more to this that the public doesn't know.
Of course.
And the behind the scenes of what happened, and regardless of Hailey saying there was no overlap in a timeline, feelings were hurt, things were said. I'm sure that regardless of if they have moved on now or not, Selena could just say, guess what? That's none of my fucking business anymore.
Yeah, don't care.
And that's it. So that kind of seems like where they are in that.
Yeah.
And I hope Hailey's able to just like move on from this. I don't think she'll I really my guess is her motives for doing this was because it's like now anytime she wants to do interviews, press, it says, hey, I already talked about all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I think you're definitely right about that.
So hopefully they're actually able to not have to deal with it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The internet is the internet, and that's not going to change. But
I wonder if they're trying to get pregnant soon or something. Like I feel like these kind of like maybe she's trying to get out of that stress life so they can like start a family.
It's very possible.
I'm just wishful thinking.
That's that's actually an interesting theory too.
You know what
because
I mean?
you like
just
God
trying to
forbid
get it all
you
out
just
here.
like you don't
want
to
bring a kid into
you don't want
all that.
to yeah totally.
You don't want negativity surrounding a kid.
Yep.
You know,
or a pregnancy
pregnancy at all.
Yep. That's a good point.
Of Khloe, poor Khloe.
It's a good point.
Kardashian. Have you caught up?
Yeah, I watched. It's awful.
It's awful.
Yeah,
sad as fuck.
Okay. Yeah. Big scandal for the Try Guys. Now, if you don't know these gentlemen, they're a comedy group of men.
Quartet. Yes. Comedy quartet.
They started off on BuzzFeed, like really in the heyday of BuzzFeed.
People are saying the times is like 2011 or 2014 to 2017. That's like I keep seeing people coming out talking shit. I forget whose story I saw this on. They were posting all the tweets about people who worked at BuzzFeed at the same time as the Try Guys originally working there, and that it was like a fucking madhouse. Like the place like the place was a nightmare. So
what they did, it was, and I'm sure even if you've never like, because when I first heard this, I'm like, I don't know who these guys are, but
I have no idea who these people are.
When you see that, like some of the videos, they're really viral ones. It's like, oh wait, I remember this from years ago.
Yeah,
is their whole thing was like trying random stuff,
gross
like
things,
weird things, gross things, new things.
Right.
And they went off on their own. They're you can find them on YouTube. They're very popular. This guy has like 1 million+ followers.
Wow.
Ned Fulmer, he's one of the Try Guys. He is leaving the group effective immediately. Big announcement this week. He was apparently cheating on his wife. And he is no longer in the group because of that. It was also because I believe if there was one or more, I do not know, but one of the women he was cheating with was a producer for the Try Guys.
Yeah, that's
so it's
tough.
a little inter-office situation there. But
people be fucking at work.
Yeah, the New York Times did a good little summary of really like what happened and who these guys are, which I can read because I think a lot of people are probably seeing these headlines being like, who the heck are these guys and what did he do?
I would like to read it. I need to know.
4 guys. They were video producers at BuzzFeed when they started a new series in 2014. They were guys. They wanted to try new stuff. In the first video, they tried on underwear from Victoria's Secret, which I actually do believe I remember that video.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay.
It went crazy. They tried all these different stuff, and then they left BuzzFeed in 2018, and they formed their own production company called Second Try. And in 2021, Digiday reported that the company had grown to nearly 24 employees.
Wow.
And they have a Food Network. They had a Food Network show called No Recipe Road Trip with the Try Guys, which premiered in August.
Oh, wow.
Of this year. They were really open about their lives. They've done a couple like office tours, and Ned's wife Ariel, who is an interior designer, and they have also been very public about their relationship.
Got it.
And speaking about their family, she's known as one of the Try Wives, and she frequently appears in the videos.
Oh God.
Where they have 7.8 million subscribers.
Oh my fucking God.
Some followers, or 7.8 million followers, and had become a well-known face among fans of the franchise. Damn. And they co-wrote the Date Night Cookbook in 2021. So from what I have also gathered, they're one of those couples that's a social media. They're on social media a lot. They are I love my wife. I love my husband. Look at my beautiful family. Look at the life we have. Everything's so amazing. Yeah.
That's the only thing I have heard about it. Like I know nothing about this. I sort of recognize them. I maybe think I've seen some of the videos, but like it just is not like I miss that whole pocket of the internet for some reason. But like, the whole point I guess is that he's a big time my family in content all the time, and is now cheating on his wife.
So fans started to notice that he wasn't in like their last few videos. And on Twitter and on the Try Guys subreddit, which you know. Oh my
fucking God. That's how you know you made
it. These fucking subreddits, man. They know how to get down to the to the
point.
Know
everything.
They started to piece together that he was possibly having an affair with a coworker. And then Tuesday afternoon, the group and Ted, I'm just Try Guys and Ned. Yeah. Ned had issued statements that confirmed the rumors. As a result of a thorough internal review, we do not see a path forward together. The group said in a statement on Instagram, "We thank you for your support as we navigate this challenge." And then he also posted a personal statement on his Instagram apologizing for what he described as a consensual workplace relationship.
Yep. Saw the apology.
The wife,
saw the apology. Roll my eyes.
Yeah, the wife posted a statement on her Instagram account thanking people who reached out. She also wrote, "Nothing is more important to me and Ned than our family, and we request right now that you respect our privacy for the sake of our kids." And now there were paparazzi pictures of them seen together. It's like, oh, Ned and his wife, they're here, they are together. They were leaving a house. They both had their rings. That's what like people talk about. They both had their rings on.
Right.
It's also like,
I mean,
I'm just saying, if I was in if there was like a massive cheating scandal, I was married.
Yeah.
I don't think like the first thing I'm doing is ripping off my rings.
No,
and
right.
Being like
I'm not suddenly like upending my life day one. Like this just fucking happened. And also too, people don't know, like maybe she knew about this. Maybe it's been an issue, or maybe it was an issue. Like maybe don't always assume that the wife is blindsided by the situation. The same thing happened with Adam Levine. I am not under the impression that Bahati Prince Lou was surprised by all that information. Like I just, not saying that like, you know, that doesn't make it any better, but a lot of the time these people aren't like totally in the fucking dark. Like you know, I mean, you know.
That's what I mean, if I have to guess, I think that there's probably some, you know, you don't know for sure, but you're speculating and you think you're a little suspicious of what might be going on. Apparently this guy was like out in public with this coworker. They went to a concert.
The balls
like
these men have, I swear.
We're out to I think maybe Dumar or somebody posted that he was like out to like in public on a date with her. I don't know.
You know what though? Like that's the thing is like if she was a producer or something, the excuse is, oh, we just go up to and talked about whatever, and like you make shit up. It's like it's easy. It writes itself. You know, it's not difficult. And if the wife is really trusting, what's she gonna? She's like, oh, of course. Like he's the family guy. All he does is talk about our family and how much we love each other, and that's his whole life. He's not gonna do anything to jeopardize that. I trust him. Yeah. And then he cheats with his producer.
I just have, and you know, I really don't. I do think that a lot of these. And it's tough because I think people are joking that, yes, if you go on his Twitter and social accounts and you like search his name and wife, like he's just talking about how amazing his wife is all the time.
About his wife, yeah.
And if you are just one of those Hollywood people that perpetuates this, like, we were just talking to Lady Gang about this actually, where Kelty was like, because we were talking about Adam Levine, and Kelty was like, oh, like, yeah, everybody wants you to think that there's, you know, open relationships here or there. It's not a big deal because they don't want the press to freak out. She's like, that's a lie. She's like, people care. Okay. Wives are pissed.
Of course, wives are pissed.
People are embarrassed. Yeah. It's like, all this idea that everybody's just in an open relationship is just a way to, like, dispel.
To get the heat off.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I definitely don't think that. I just think more like, I can't imagine the media is the first person to hear about this scandal. Like this wife, how did he get caught in the scandal? Probably by his fucking wife. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure this. It's not their first hearing about it. It's fucking crazy. Everyone is so like brazen. I don't understand. Like the same with the Adam Levine thing. Like to be DMing from your official verified account, all that shit. Like what are you doing, dude?
That's
like,
what I just said. Even if there is some kind of arrangement, be smart.
Be smart. You're not trying be discreet.
If you're Bahati, it's like don't embarrass me.
Exactly. And I feel like that is always the thing. Like that's and I kind of feel that way. Like I don't necessarily. I'm not like. I'm a very jealous person, extremely. However, if you're fucking around and there's something going on and like I don't really know and you eventually are wanting to break up with me, like whatever, you're going through it, I can maybe get over that one day. What I won't get over is you like blatantly going out to dinner with somebody else behind my fucking back and making me look like an asshole, like as if I don't know. You know what I mean? And that's how these women always end up looking, as if it's a shock, it's a surprise. Oh my God, they look foolish. How could they not know? He's so obvious about it. And I'm just under the impression that a lot of them, you know, not that they know and are okay with it, but are at least suspicious. Like they're not, these women aren't like, head in the clouds all the time.
I know.
But it's still fucking, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous
that
these people get away with it.
It's just sad because I do think,
it is sad.
Especially when there's kids involved.
How do you trust anybody anymore? Honestly, I think that all the time. You want to keep your
family together.
Yeah.
So you keep trying or see what happens, and everyone's always very apologetic, and you try and work through it. So
it's so hard to work through stuff like that. People do it though. People are very good. I am jealous of and admire the people that are like actually committed to vows, and when a vow is broken or whatever, they still work through it because they want the marriage to work. Like I think that's a really admirable thing. Yeah. Because it's true, people fuck up all the time. It's, things happen, whatever. But if you're like willing to put in the work to change it or change your mindset, change who you are, like maybe not, maybe zebra doesn't change its stripes at the end of the day, but being willing to put in the work, I think is like a type of affection that I would be like, okay, they do care, they do love me. It's not like they don't love me, they're just fucking around, and that sucks, but I can maybe move past it eventually.
Yeah, agreed.
Damn. But I don't know who the fuck these people are. Yeah. I know nothing about these people. I just
if anything, it's
I can't believe how many people are talking about it. I've had people in my DMs being like, oh my God, I thought you were gonna blog about the Try Guys. I was like, what? Who are these other guys?
People? The other guys in the group must be like, oh, this sucks for Ned.
But but let's go.
Got a lot of eyes on our page right now.
Get their shit right. Like, get their shit up. Start cranking out those videos.
I know. A lot of eyes on their page right now. Oh, 100%. Boy. So it seems like the Try Guys are down to 3.
Okay. Well, it sounds like it was a tough loss.
Yeah. Kelly.
Yes.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Barstool has a ton of merch.
Yes, they do.
During this time, 100% of net proceeds from the Barstool Sports Breast Cancer Awareness Collection will be donated to Pink Aid. Pink Aid is great. They provide compassionate support, critical resources, and emergency financial assistance to breast cancer patients and their families. We have a Chicks in the Office sweatshirt that is on sale. It's very cute.
Super cute.
We have them in the office. They're actually sitting right there. Noah, can you throw me one? They're right in front of you.
Yeah.
We have them in 2 colors, like a light pink and a hot pink.
Super cute.
They have, one has a...
I love this one. I have this one at home.
This one's great. This has the little chick on the front, and on the back it says, "You're the tits." It's a crew neck. It's great. Show the back. It says, "You're the tits" a bunch of times.
My mom also bought this for herself.
And then we also have the light pink CITO. It says CITO on the front.
So cute.
And then in big letters has "You're the tits" on the back. Also very cute. They're really comfortable. If you want to support this month, we would greatly appreciate it. You can go to store.barstoolsports.com and search under the Breast Cancer Awareness Collection and find all the merch. We have merch. There's a lot of great merch on sale across the board, I would say. From everybody's put out some really nice stuff, so you can check that out there, store.barstoolsports.com. Hilaria Baldwin and Alec Baldwin have had another baby. This is baby number 7?
God.
7, right?
So many fucking kids. 7 children. Oh my God.
7
my mom was
children.
one of 7. My mom was one of 7. And to this day, I think it's like the most insane thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like it's just 7 children.
That's a lot of aunts and uncles for you.
Yeah, it's a lot of cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's
a lot.
She was born on the 22nd. She is happy and healthy, is what Hilaria wrote. And her name is Hilaria.
Which, can I do a little
Same
throwback?
spelling without the H.
Right. Can I do a little throwback to when Hilaria was telling us that her name was pronounced Hilaria despite the
Hillary.
H? So she just named it. She just named the baby after her. Although it seems like she did in the thing, in her description or whatever. What did she say? Are you reading the thing that she posted?
Yeah, she posted.
Our names mean.
Our names mean happy, and to share this connection with you feels like an honor to me.
So it seems like
I named you in honor of happiness and the mothers in our family who came before you. Our name means happy in all languages. Few letters different here and there. Same meaning.
I think that her heart's in the right place sometimes. She's just a little weird, I think, Hilaria. Like
100%.
She's just 100%. A freak. Also, can I say this? I'm not trying to be your best name defender. I know she's a freak. Yeah. But men name their sons after themselves all the time.
Oh, Kelly, I'm not even gonna lie. I was so.
And that's a sweet meaning.
It is objectively funny. Like when you see,
of course it's funny.
When you see that headline,
she's so full of herself. Yeah.
When you see that headline, it's like, oh, of course she named her daughter after herself.
Of course.
We have had this conversation in my family so many times because me and Gia love our names so much, and we're just like, can't we just fucking name our daughters like our same name?
Why not? Like, Francesca II. Like, why not?
Like, we talk about it.
What's wrong with that?
We joke about it all the time. So it is funny because it's like, I actually have no ground to stand on when it comes to making fun of doing this, because I have thought about this. When people are
it's unorthodox, but it's not ridiculous. It's not. No, it's not like
it is so funny though, because it does sound like it probably is maybe one of the more. You know what? It's not even that conceited, but I'm just like, when people are like, "Oh my God, do you have any baby names picked out? Like any things that you really love?" Or like, and in my mind, I'm just like, I like my own name.
Yes, I don't know. Francesca again. The boy Francis. That's it. You know what I mean? Like it's not so insane when you think about it like that. And it also to me doesn't sound so conceited when you think about it in the way of like men name their sons after themselves all the time.
Start naming girls just like they just get the second. Like I don't like junior, but like maybe just like
the second. I've never liked the junior. Yeah, and I think junior is weird, but second, the third, the fourth, it's just a whole family of Francescas. You know what I mean? Like it can happen like that. Like what's so wrong about that?
It is funny though that you just like in my mind it's like just give her the H. If you're gonna
just give her the H,
if you're gonna do it, go all in.
Because it's gonna be questions forever. Like, oh, Hilaria, but Hilaria as well.
Right.
Like
she's like, oh, a couple letters different. Just if you're gonna name your daughter the same name as you, just go all in, head first. Put that H in front of there.
Go in and give her a different nickname. That's always that's how everybody goes anyway. Like even people who are named after their dads, like it's George III, they call him Trey. You know what I mean? It's like 3, blah blah blah. Like everybody has some kind of nickname, whatever. It's easy to get around.
Yeah.
But this is funny. She's on another level, on another planet.
And I do feel like she does talk about it like the proper pronunciation of her name, and it's just
that's what I'm saying. Her proper pronunciation of her name is just her daughter's name. Right. Like maybe she just wants her daughter's that's the name she wants.
Like everybody always says my name wrong. I just want my daughter to have the right pronunciation of my name.
Maybe, honestly, right. She wants a better life for her daughter, literally. She wants to copy.
Oh, I love it. It's just so perfectly her that I can't picture her naming her daughter anything else.
What would it be named?
Like, what could she have possibly come up with that would have been better than this? Nothing.
Do they have other girls? And there's 7 kids? I'd imagine.
There has to be.
There's got to be a girl in there somewhere.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I have no idea what they're, like, I don't know what any of those kids' names are. I know nothing about
how old is she?
The Baldwin family.
She probably 40.
Yeah, maybe early 40s. If that.
How old is Alec Baldwin?
He's got to be like 60.
She's 38. Alec Baldwin's 64.
Ah, there you go. Nice.
That kid's gonna be 15. He's gonna be in the.
So we 70s. Got. Let's see.
You think they're still trying for more?
I don't know. Well, they have that. They also have that one via
it's
surrogate.
Like how many? Oh yeah, the surrogate baby. I
so
forgot.
They have Carmen. She's 9.
I love the name Carmen.
Great name.
I love that name. Wow.
Raphael is 7.
Nice.
Leonardo is 6.
Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. What?
Romeo is 4. Eduardo is 2. Maria Lucia is 1.
These names are hilarious.
And now they have Hilaria. I'm also not including their middle names. Carmen Gabriela, Rafael Thomas, Leonardo Angel Charles, Romeo Alejandro David, Eduardo Pau Lucas, and Maria Lucia.
I have to say this, and I'm not sure if this
Hilaria Catalina Irina Baldwin.
Oh wow. I can't figure out if this is like I don't actually know what happened. Is she from Spain? Is she actually from Spain, or she's pretending to be?
She's pretending, and people
Hispanic.
just kind of glossed over it. It was like
so. All of these names are extremely either like a Spanish Italian hybrid.
She like
that was all a lie,
spent a
right?
lot of time in Spain growing up, I believe. Is
okay, but she's naming all her kids.
Well, I think they're all bilingual too. I think like they're all like they all speak Spanish.
So we're just popping out all these.
I
fake
took Spanish class in middle school. That doesn't mean I'm Spanish.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, is this like a house of culture? Like, are they going to know how to make like
this is LA Times article?
Well
yes,
you know what I mean? Like,
remember when she forgot the English word for cucumber?
Yeah.
Amid scrutiny, she admitted in December 2020 that she was actually born in Boston, but grew up with her family between Massachusetts and
like
Spain.
Dorit. I feel like she's like Dorit, who like grew up in Connecticut but has an accent.
Right. Ethnically, I'm a mix of many, many, many things. Culturally, I grew up with two cultures. So it's really as simple as that. And they're just trying to give both cultures to their children as well.
Okay. I mean, that is sweet. I wish that there was another culture in my house besides white. You know what I mean? Like, just like besides like Budweiser and beer. They're both the same thing, but that's how much beer was in my house. So that's lovely. I said the other day I would die to be bilingual. Like I feel stupid and ignorant. The fact that I can't speak another language, like it just doesn't click with me.
My dad was born in New Jersey. If he could tell people he was born in Italy, he would.
100%. That's what I'm saying. Like I would love to lie about where I'm from. Like I would love to lie. Not that I don't, shout out Jersey, we're Jersey girls, but it's way cooler to be from Spain. It's way cooler. Yeah. So I don't know. It just feels it feels strange. All the names, like if I hear those children's names in a classroom setting, I'm assuming like, oh my God, I would love to hear all about the culture at home and whatever. It sounds exciting. And if they can speak Spanish and everything, it's like, okay, well, they're put their money where their mouth is. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it's just one big show. It's just one big fake show.
How do you learn two languages when you're that young? Do you like learn
I do not
and then
know.
you learn the other?
Well, they speak in both. Usually. The parents will usually speak both.
It's actually, that's when you're supposed to learn two languages. That's the easiest to learn when you are as young as possible.
I feel like it'd be so confusing, like, at the same time.
I feel like it too. I feel like it too.
I think it's hard for us to understand it now at our age because it's impossible to learn a new language. But
all I want to do is learn a new language.
When you're that young, I actually think like that's when you're supposed to really try it.
It is. It definitely is. They always say that.
Yeah. When you're supposed to
because
try
now even
language.
kids they have like little kids books that teach you how to speak Spanish, not even for like Spanish families. Like kids like need to they want people, especially Spanish, because everybody speaks Spanish.
Just like when you retain.
Can
the
you
most.
Speak Italian? Like
a little bit. I mean, my Italian's not great. I can understand a lot more than I can speak.
I see.
Yeah, that's Spanish. That's Spanish. That's Spanish. I was saying the other day I was in when I was in Mexico. I know Spanish. I can understand it better than I can speak it. I can't write it really at all anymore. Like I used to be able to, but even though I was confident about what I was saying, sometimes I felt like a total like fucking loser. Like I just felt like I would be like, oh, blah blah blah. We went to the spa one day, and the woman who was helping us with the spa on our restorative hydrotherapy journey, she was coming in telling us what to do. It was myself, two of my friends, and another woman who was Mexican from Mexico. And we were talking with her, learning about she like lives on the Mexican side of the border, but then also like works in Texas. Like it was an interesting conversation. And the other woman came in, started talking to us, and started speaking directly to this woman because she could speak Spanish. Yeah. And they were going back and forth. And she was asking us, like, how long do you want to stay in the sauna? We were in the sauna. And I understood what she was saying. And so she was like, oh, 5 minutos. And I was like, oh, yo también, or like, yo también. And I just responded. And she looked at me and was like, okay, and then left as if I said the wrong thing. I know that was the correct response, but I felt like a fucking idiot. I was like, why did I even try? Like, no, it was completely correct. Like I looked it up after. Like I knew it was just like me too is what I was saying. And that's what it is. And I felt so stupid. And I was like, why do I feel so stupid? I just need the confidence. I need to like, they always say that you need to move somewhere and live there for a while to like pick up the language or whatever. I need to move somewhere to pick up the language to also increase my confidence. Because I think it wouldn't be so hard to like learn the words and get the language or whatever. It's having the confidence to like speak it.
Well, and
around
that's the thing.
a native
it is
tongue.
hard because once you get to that point too, like you have to find somewhere where you can go where people will actually entertain.
Will help
speaking
right,
to you.
Exactly. Right.
So many times you'll be like, oh, I would love to practice my Italian sometimes, but I get like
we speak English.
Francesca, like we speak English.
Yeah, like
stop
please stop
trying to speak Italian. You're embarrassing yourself.
Right, exactly. Like I don't want to embarrass myself, but how am I going to learn?
Yeah,
like I have to.
I know.
Drives me insane. But anyway,
in
I guess
school I had to do a whole Spanish presentation, like everyone had to do in
of course,
Spanish
yeah,
class.
we had to do the same.
Yes.
And I just was a terrible student, and I typed the whole presentation in English, and then just put it into Google Translate, being like, it'll just...
Of course,
and
it'll
I
work.
read it, like, off the sheet, and it just wasn't, like...
No. They always
that
knew
never
when
works.
you did that. Yeah, that never worked. They always knew they would call you
Google
right out.
Translate always gives you, like, words that are never actually used.
Yeah.
It's, like, always it's always the very... shit, what's the right word I'm looking for? It's always
formal?
like
the formal.
Yes, it's always
very
like
formal.
the very formal phrasing, and not like they're like nobody talks like that,
right?
And
Exactly.
So you're like, oh shit.
So maybe that's it. Maybe Itan Bien is too formal, and she thought I was being crazy. Like there must be a better way to say me too than Itan Bien.
Or she
but I hear it all the time.
Or she
That
was
always
just like
confused me.
she was just like, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Like
use certain things for... I mean, I guess that's how our language is too, but it's like...
yeah.
If you're friends with someone, you use a different... It's so weird. Like
I just don't think I would be like... I don't know. Maybe I would if somebody was saying something that was out of the ordinary. Yeah, I guess sometimes like if I have friends who English isn't their first language and they'll say like a phrase or like a slang phrase and it'll sound kind of backwards or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's always like a LOL. It's a sorta like, but I don't I'm never like, giving looks about it. Like I'm just like LOL, kind of silly, but you're learning. I appreciate it. Like I don't know. I just know.
Just
I
keep
just
trying,
want to learn
Kelly.
more. I said just
Just
learn.
keep trying, Kelly.
I just think it's so cool.
But well, the Baldwin children are certainly
so they don't have that problem.
No.
Yeah, the Baldwins won't have that problem.
Billy Ray Cyrus may be engaged. He and his wife, ex-wife, they have been separated for I think a couple years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They
Right? I think you said like 3 years.
Yeah, I
4
believe.
years.
Okay, so after 29 years of marriage and 5 kids, Tish filed for divorce 5 months ago.
Yeah.
But she claimed they have not been living together since February of 2020.
Okay.
This is also the 3rd time that they filed for divorce, with this most recent separation being 5 years prior.
File for divorce. She let the law take it from there. Whenever I hear file for divorce, that's all I think of is the Dixie Chicks. Or I'm sorry, the Chicks.
Yes, the Chicks.
Forgetting. Goodbye, Earl. Goodbye, Earl.
Fairly rude. They stole our name. No.
Yeah, it was fucked up. Yeah, the copyright wasn't taken by you guys.
Yeah,
it's fucked up. Somebody in here better get on that.
I know. So I guess he has been dating. They've been separated for a while. It is true. Like they have separated a couple times. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
In the years, but he's apparently dating this woman who goes by Fire Rose.
Okay.
She's an Australian singer. Honestly, it just like makes sense from the way the two like look together. It's like, of course, her name is Fire Rose.
Of course, her name is Fire. Wow, that is not what I expected her to look like. I expected her to look more.
Yeah, I also can't find
an
an age on her. Like I don't
What's
know
her
if anyone
name
knows what her age is. Fire Rose, Australian singer.
Rose. Oh, all one word.
Like Page 6 just wrote, in the photos, the young singer sat on the end of a stone bench with her left hand carefully placed in her lap, showing off a massive diamond.
Okay, well, she has 630 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Oh.
Some of her songs have like 800,000 streams. Two of them have about that. I'm being generous. And I don't know. Can we play 5 seconds of one of her songs? Are we allowed to do that?
No.
Damn, okay. Never mind. So we're not gonna be able to do it. But she's been putting out music.
I mean, they've
her
been
first
doing...
album came out in 2019, or it's actually...
I mean, that's an engagement ring.
It's actually just a single.
So this post, because Billy Ray and Fire Rose it's actually a joint post on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Like
it's like they shared it with each other?
Yeah, but it's not, they're just like, they're with these birds. I don't know. They got like parrots.
She's so like, she looks like she like works on a farm. Like that's just not what I expected her to look like.
She just looks like a...
She's wearing like a trucker hat and a flannel. I expected her to be some like
a
dolled up
version of Tish.
She really does. Can I look at it again close?
Like a little bit,
weird.
right?
It's
so
weird.
wait, scroll to the next one, and that's an engagement ring.
I mean, please.
You see it on her finger? That is
yes.
That's a gold band with a giant diamond.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Is it a diamond or is it like a rock?
I don't
like
know.
Like a stone.
Maybe.
No,
I
it's a
could see
diamond.
that
It's
too.
a
That
diamond.
looks like
I
a
can see it
diamond.
over here.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can see it over here.
yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, does Billy Ray got it like that? He's getting just a big ass engagement ring. Like that's a huge.
Yeah,
that's a crazy amount of
probably.
carats.
Probably.
Really? Achy break your heart, carried him all the way to that through a divorce even.
Yeah,
I guess he's got Hannah Montana. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. He hasn't put out
probably,
Hannah Montana. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
They've been together
I
for a
doubt
while.
Miley, like, does Miley, like, give her, she's so rich that but she's not like giving parents allowances. I always wonder about that. Like, if I become super, super rich, like, what do I have to, like, should I give my parents, like,
I feel like you
money?
do
like, stipend?
you get them a house. But that's different when
like,
Billy
you get
Ray
them a
Cyrus
house
is
or
also
something,
famous.
Right, that's true.
The D'Amelios, it's like...
Oh, look, here they are.
Yeah, it's like, what do you do? Right.
Here they are in August of 2021. All right, they've been
dating.
Yeah, no, they've been together for a little bit for sure.
All right.
So anytime I hear Billy Ray Cyrus, just like you said, that's the chick song plays in your mind, I just not even I want my mullet back. Which is that even like a real song of his, or is that just from Hannah Montana?
Yeah, that's just from Hannah Montana. And it's like sort of the tune of
and my 8-track.
It's like this sort of the tune to I like that old time rock and roll. Like that's like the same. It's the same
like what
song, but with I want my mullet back. I don't know.
Speaking of songs that sound similar, I sent to Fran last night.
Yeah, I did.
What'd you send?
Which I think I had heard before, but Nick Jonas.
Oh no, it really is a Billy Ray Cyrus song.
Saying that John Mayer stole like the chorus to Love Bug. Like that John Mayer had at one point was like came up to the Jonas Brothers and was like, I really love like Love Bug, that song. And then he puts out a song, Walt Grace, and if you listen to them, it's like the same.
Really? That's so interesting.
Agree that it's
I mean, it
similar?
sounds it sounds very familiar. And I think for the longest time I listened to that song by John Mayer being like, it does sound like familiar. And I always like
it's also funny that they posted that it was like on the First We Feast TikTok for like they do the Hot Ones.
Yeah.
Because it's from Nick Jonas said it during a Hot Ones interview. But it's funny that they posted that on TikTok like recently. That interview's from 3 years ago.
They're just trying to go viral.
Yeah.
So just posting shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So like that. So and Noah sent it to me, and I was like, I do remember that because I did watch that Hot Ones. But
well, maybe they got it. Maybe they got a little kickback.
Nick, he was like, oh, it's a compliment.
Yeah, Nick was like, it didn't seem to bother them.
It is a compliment for sure.
It's also like, I don't know, when it's in a situation like that, you can definitely hear it.
Yeah.
But it's not like a carbon copy.
Yeah, it's not
same
exactly
song.
the same.
You know?
It's like same vibe.
It just has like it has some musical influence, I would say. From Love Bug.
Whatever, then we're good.
And if anything, I would think the Jonas Brothers would be like, fucking John Mayer.
I'd be psyched
was impressed by our song,
right?
And like I'd wear that as a badge of honor.
Listening to Love Bug.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I like that. I like that about John Mayer. It is a great song. I like that about John Mayer. I feel like he does listen to like everyone's music. Like he doesn't like he's not deterred by like
genre.
Yeah, like boy bands or whatever. Like he'll always listen to music, and if he likes it, he likes it. So I appreciate that about John Mayer.
Yeah. So I do, and Noah Cyrus just had a new song come out with Billy Ray Cyrus. I believe too, like their first song they've ever done together.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice. You gotta hope that like new girlfriend, that they love those Australians.
They really do. Yeah, is that where they met? Maybe like
Australians.
Did you see that Miley Cyrus like tribute?
Yeah, I saw.
Pretty sick.
Yeah. It was amazing. With her sister, and her sister, and they both sang on stage.
It was like Def Leppard.
It was
in honor of Taylor Hawkins.
For the Taylor Hawkins tribute
Right. Wasn't
concert.
that the same time that she sang with her sister? Oh, no, that was Jolene. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this just happened. That was she did it on stage I know.
A
few days ago.
But that thing was also recent.
And it looked like very rock star-y.
It did.
Cool. Damn.
Miley is so cool.
She is so cool, always.
But,
well,
I think every time I see that Billy and Tish are broken up, it's like, they'll just figure it out and get back together because they've done this so many times. But maybe he's really moved on to
maybe he is
a new young fire rose.
Yeah, there we go. A young fire rose grows in the garden of Billy Ray Cyrus's house.
If you go by Fire Rose, like that's your name, like stage names.
Yeah,
you're being people in your close circle calling you Fire Rose.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's her real name? Does she have a real name, or
I think
is she's just Fire Rose?
No, she does have a real name, so maybe she goes by that.
Fire Rose is a kind of a cool name. I guess it's a little weird, but it's the more we're saying it, I'm kind of like, ooh, Fire Rose. Yeah. Like, have you heard the new Fire Rose?
I'd rather have Fire Rose than Hilaria.
Without question. Yeah, without question. For sure. I'm sorry. No, it's actually
Hilaria. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Get it right.
Please. Yes. Potential new engagement.
What's Trish up to? Tish. Oh, it's Tish.
Tish.
I've always thought Trish. Well, what's Tish up to?
Unsure.
Okay. Well, I'm curious about her life.
I don't think she's engaged.
Probably not.
Just Billy Ray.
Probably not. Yeah.
Potentially. Maybe.
The engagement thing, that's fucking crazy. I'm hoping that she's just wearing a giant diamond ring for fun, but whatever. Maybe they're in love for, My mom does that. My mom, well, she's married, but on other fingers, I don't know. Weird.
Maybe after you're married, then you can
just wear a big giant. I don't know if she wears it on a ring finger. She's just always wearing it.
You can do it at a different time. Not that. Okay, so interesting.
Congrats. I
want my mullet back, my old Camaro, and my 8-track. That's all I know.
I don't know the next one. I don't know the next line.
And Finn.
Finn.
Fall does not have to be the end of your summer chill. Coors Light helps you find moments to unwind, whether, you got a big work presentation, you get it done, you want to head somewhere, you want to celebrate happy hour, have a Coors Light.
Hell yeah.
Weekend errands. You're running around, you just want to sit back, relax, you're too busy. Turn on a college football game and have a Coors Light.
It's time.
Whenever you need to hit reset, reach for a Coors Light. It's made to chill. From college football games to Halloween costume parties to chilling on the deck and watching the leaves fall, there's always a way to turn off and hit reset. For those moments that you need to soak in the season, reach for a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment. Like I said, made to chill. Cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. Coors Light for me is the perfect beer that I reach for on those Sunday afternoons when football is on and I got nothing to do but watch games all day and relax. Kelly, big beer family. Big beer family, huge beer family. There's always beer in the house. You know who loves Coors Light? Is my dad. My dad drinks Coors Light like nobody's fucking business. He goes on and on about it, loves it, always has it. Necessity for game day, for Sunday specifically. He's a NFL football kind of guy. And if there's not Coors Light in the house when he's watching the game, it's going to be a problem. It is going to be a problem. Well, if he runs out, he can go to CoorsLight.com/chicks because Coors Light is the one we choose when we need to unwind. If you want to hit reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill. You can get Coors Light in the new look delivered straight to your door with Drizly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. Always celebrate responsibly. It's coming from Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado.
All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest. We are joined by the lovely Billy Eichner, whose new movie, Bros, comes out September 30th in theaters. We are so excited to have you here today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
We are doing very well. We're very excited to talk to you. We are slightly disappointed because we had a confusion with our own producer. We had thought you were in studio interview today, so we were so excited.
We hyped ourselves up so much,
and like 15 minutes before, he was like, "Guys, it's on Zoom, you know that, right?" And we were like, "No!"
Oh, no. So much so that we made a bet with him because we were like, "No, it's definitely in person." So then we just had to Venmo him money because he won.
Yeah, he won.
I'm so sorry. I'll pay you back for that.
Perfect.
But next time I'll come in studio for sure. Usually people are disappointed because they say Billy Eichner and everyone thinks Billie Eilish is going to show up. And so when I show up, you can imagine the level of disappointment.
We're here with Billy Eichner.
Eichner. Yeah. So, well, I'm happy to be chatting with you even remotely. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we are too.
Us too. Bros, the movie is great. I've very much enjoyed it. It was like wholesome and sexy at the same time. Like somehow it was wholesome and raunchy like at the same time, which I kind of
loved. The perfect combination.
Yeah, it was really great. And I would love for you to just talk us through the process of getting this movie made because I know you've been working on it for quite some time.
Yeah, I made Bros. It's a romantic comedy about a gay couple, and it is one of, if not the first, gay rom-coms ever made by a major studio. Certainly the first R-rated one, and certainly the first produced by Judd Apatow, who made Bridesmaids and 40-Year-Old Virgin and Superbad and Trainwreck and all these amazing movies. And Nick Stoller co-wrote it with me and he directed it. He made Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Neighbors and all these amazing movies. So these guys really know how to make a laugh out loud, funny, explosively funny comedy. That's also, I hope, really heartfelt and honest and uplifting. That's what we were going for. And it actually started with Nick and Judd coming to me about 5 years ago and saying, we think it would be cool to make romantic comedy. We love romantic comedies, but we think it would be cool to make one about a gay couple because it's not something that we've seen a lot of, and they're both straight. And they were fans of mine. I had worked with Nick before. I worked on a show of his called Friends from College on Netflix. And he said, do you want to write it together? And if all goes well, you can star in it and I'll direct it and Judd will produce it. And here we are 5 years later. We did that and I'm really proud of it. Like I said, those guys have made so many laugh out loud, hysterically funny classic movies. And this one has a little twist in that it's about a gay couple and the whole cast is openly LGBTQ actors, even in the straight roles. And so it's just fun. It's a twist on what, we're used to seeing. And, there are some historic statistics attached to it and those are exciting, but really we never thought about that while making the movie. We just thought we want to make a really friggin' funny movie that, is a reason for people to leave their house, go to the movie theater and laugh out loud with their friends, be swept away, see something romantic and uplifting, a really feel-good movie. I think we need that these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said that this has been 5 years in the making. And I could imagine at the beginning of a process like this, you're almost like, is this ever going to get made? Did you have any of those thoughts while you were making this?
Oh my God, all the time. I'm still expecting Universal to call and say, actually, we're not releasing it. Oh my God, yeah. And I remember, Judd and Nick, they have a long, so much experience making big hit mainstream comedies, many of them with Universal. And they said to me from the beginning, we think Universal is going to want to do this. And I said, guys, you're insane. Okay. Like, I've been an openly gay man in comedy for 20 years and I've had a wonderful career, but there tends to be a ceiling for people like me. I mean, Universal in its entire 100+ year history has never made a romantic comedy about a gay couple. I mean, it's just not something that has happened. And I said to them, I think you're crazy that thinking that the same studio that makes Jurassic World and Fast and the Furious and Minions is going to make an R-rated gay comedy and not only make it, but allow us to keep it real.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make some kind of bullshitty sitcom-y thing. I wanted it to be really funny, but I also wanted it to be honest. Because these days, the rules of romantic comedies, I don't even think they apply to young straight couples anymore, let alone gay couples. You know what I mean? We're all making up our own rules. And that's what's fun and exciting and fresh about it. And I never thought Universal would do it, but Judd and Nick, they kept saying, we think they will. And they gave me that confidence. And luckily they did. And I'm really grateful.
How was the writing process for you? Because I think a lot of times rom-coms, you kind of joke and you see the actors pull from their real lives, but you are writing this and you are in the movie. How much of your own experiences did you put into this movie?
A lot. It's not entirely autobiographical, and I'm certainly not playing myself, but of course, like any writer, I pulled from my own life and also the lives of my friends, my straight friends, my gay friends. I have so many bad dating experiences, so many experiences I've had with relationships, that have been bumpy and also funny and absurd and interesting. I mean, years worth of these. And I've never written a romantic comedy, so I got to put all of that into this movie. And I think whether you're straight, gay, queer, LGBTQ, whatever you are, if you have been single in the past 10, 15 years, navigating single life and sex and dating in the age of apps and Instagram and texting and sexting, I mean, this is not when Harry met Sally. You know what I mean? Like, all those rom-coms we grew up with, which I still love and I watch, You've Got Mail and Moonstruck and all those movies, but they aren't modern, right? So they didn't have to deal with all the stuff we have to deal with now, which has made things even more complicated. And so I pulled a lot of those experiences from my life and my friends' lives as single folks looking for love and sex, and put a lot of that into the movie.
We both just took that breath at the same breath.
The same breath.
Because things are always moving at such a fast pace nowadays. There's so many different apps. There's so many different ways to meet people. And you did start writing it years ago. How much did you have to adjust during the filming of the movie compared to when you started writing it?
I'm not that old. We started writing it 5 years ago.
I know, but things move so fast.
Prehistoric age.
They move so fast.
You are right. No,
you like Instagram DMing, all of that.
Right.
All of it. And, it's I'm a single man. And, I'm out there. I'm not shy about talking about it. Like, I'm on all the apps. I always have been, I have like my professional world on Instagram, but also like a personal world, like we all do. And, I really wanted the movie to be honest. Like, that's what I said to Nick and Judd. I said, look, Nick brought the idea to me. He said he wanted to do a rom-com about a gay couple. And I said, that's great. And I'm very flattered. And I, of course, want to do it. It's such a huge opportunity for me and LGBTQ folks and straight people who never get to experience our stories in an honest, authentic way. A lot of the times, there are exceptions, but a lot of the times. I said to him, it's gotta be honest, and I literally, he's a straight man. He's not only a straight man, he's been married, to a woman for 20 years and they have 3 kids. And it's a very, heteronormative existence, as we like to say, although we support our heteronormative friends. But I pulled out Grindr and I said, Nick, if we're going to do this, you need to know what this is like, right? And because he had never been on the apps. Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be on Grindr anyway. He's straight, but like he'd never been on Tinder. He obviously knows what these things are, but it's different to have to deal with it on the day to day and people texting you and then acting like they're in love with you one day, a person you've never met, and then not texting you the next day. And everyone's so passive aggressive and everyone's looking for like very short term love and comfort and validation and some quick text exchange. And then 3 days later, they've disappeared entirely. You never see them again. And no one wants to commit. Everyone wants the love and affection, but everyone's scared to commit, scared to commit to even going out on a date sometimes, and we deal with that in the movie, like the way me and my boyfriend, played by Luke McFarlane, the way we text each other, all these games we're playing with each other when we're first getting to meet. And there's a lot of comedy in that, but also a lot of reality in that.
Yeah. How many apps are you currently on? You said you're on all of them.
I'm not on all of them. So I've been kicked off of Tinder twice, and here's why. That makes it sound like I did something bad, which I didn't. But I think what happened is that people see me on there and they think it's fake.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I'm in the public eye a bit. And so they think it's someone pretending to be me. So they report it. and I got kicked off once. The first time I was kicked off, I happened to be booked on Jimmy Kimmel that week. So I went on Kimmel and I did a whole rant about how angry I was that I was kicked off of Tinder, right? So Tinder saw it and they felt very bad and they reinstated me. And they also sent me a care package. And it was the most depressing care package because it was literally t-shirts that said, still single, but happy. And it was like a mug that was like, world's funniest single. And it was just so hard.
They're like, we just want everyone to know you're so single.
It's like, yep. I'm like, by the way, Tinder, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
I've been on your fucking app.
You kicked me
And
off.
I'm still single. And so they put me back on. And then last year sometime, around the time we were filming Bros, actually, I went on to Tinder one day in New York and I was blocked again. So it had happened again. And at that point, I just said, fuck it. I'm not dealing with this.
That's some bullshit. Although I do understand where people could get confused and think they're helping you out.
I do too. But you're not helping me out. You're helping me die alone is what you're helping me do. But I'm also, let's see, I'm on Grindr. There's another app called Hinge, a dating app. And there's Instagram, and there's another Grindr-like app called Scruff, which the gay boys will know about. I'm on those, and honestly, Oh, and I'm also on Raya.
I was going to ask if you were on Raya.
But Raya isn't, I don't know. Raya is really mainly for straight folks, I think. Also, I live in New York. Why are you showing me someone who lives in Prague?
Yeah.
Like, it's not, I mean, I'm sure he's lovely, but it's a bit of a commute.
Do you find it hard because, like you said, the people on Tinder thought it was a fake, and so they are reporting you. And now when you do reach out to somebody on one of these apps, are they hesitant, do you feel?
Yeah, I think sometimes people don't believe it's me. And
to send a picture of the newspaper.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
it's like the Manti Te'o documentary.
Exactly. I'm like, sometimes people ask me to verify on Instagram or something like that. And I'm like, okay, sure. Like,
Do you see my blue check mark?
Exactly. I was like, I have 4 Emmy nominations, bitch. All right. And 4 losses. But I don't know. I really try to, sometimes people say like, whoa, is this Billy Eichner? And I'm just like, yeah, it's me. It really is. I don't know how to prove it to you, but I don't know. I'm just trying to be like as normal a person as possible. Right. And I don't really, I'm old enough not to sound like an old man, but I'm old enough to remember a time before apps. And that was a bit more fun, I think. I rather meet someone in person. Mm-hmm. You feel that chemistry. It's sexy. It's exciting. But we've all decided that this is how we're going to meet on our phones, for better or worse. So I'm just embracing it.
Yeah. And you definitely tie that into the movie with you guys actually meeting in real life. And there's so many funny kind of pop culture nods in the movie that I've really loved. I feel like all the talk about the Hallmark movies, when I know Luke has been in a ton of Hallmark movies, was very funny. And then you also put a Colton Underwood joke in the movie, which I thought was perfect because it just tied everything so well. Because if you watch The Bachelor and from your experience being on that show and then having this older man coming, who was his character, not to give too much away, but he's engaged and he breaks up with his fiance because he says he's gay. He comes out and he's like, thanks, Colton Underwood, for really giving me the courage.
Exactly.
Which is so funny.
Thank you to my hero, Colton Underwood.
Yeah.
Right. And sorry, for the people who don't know, the clip of Billy on The Bachelor talking with Colton Underwood and basically saying, he was gay. And then,
are you sure?
Yeah. And
I mean, I really didn't know. I really didn't know. People ask me all the time, did you really know he was gay? No, of course I didn't. The man was on The Bachelor, surrounded by women looking to date one of them or marry one of them or whatever happens there. And I was just being funny. I really didn't think. I said to him, I was like, because he was a virgin, that was the whole thing about him at the time. And I thought, well, maybe you're the first gay bachelor and we don't even know it, and he laughed. And then it turns out he was.
It was just wild. It's just
I truly didn't know, and to be honest, if I thought he was, I would have never.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I think, and I hope people would know that you wouldn't just out somebody like that. That would be ridiculous.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a myself, and I get it. And, now what's funny is Colton is actually dating, engaged to a guy that I briefly dated.
Oh, shit.
Like a while back. Which is, it's a small gay world. And I ran into them at a house party maybe earlier this year. And I hadn't seen Colton and I, we DM'd on Instagram a little bit, as he came out. And obviously the whole thing was so ridiculous considering my appearance on The Bachelor that time. But we ran into each other at a house party and he came up to me and, we laughed and we hugged and, he's on his journey and, he's a nice guy.
Yeah. Are you an avid Bachelor watcher?
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not an avid Bachelor watcher, although I do like to check in occasionally. And I did just make an appearance on The Bachelorette.
Yes, we wanted to ask you about that.
We wanted to ask you because when we watched that episode, we were talking about all the ridiculous things they were filling into that episode. And the one thing that we did like was your movie. Like we were like, we were like, honestly though, we're very interested in this new Billy Eichner movie, but
yeah.
Yeah, we did a whole, me and Luke, who plays my boyfriend in Bros, like we went on The Bachelorette and we showed the trailer. We played a Bros themed game with the Bachelorettes, plural.
Yes.
But it was the Men Tell All episode. And I watch those shows a little bit more than Luke does, even though I'm not like fanatical. But Luke looked at me and he was like, why is the vibe so weird on this episode? And I said, Luke, you don't get it. It's the Men Tell All episode. These guys are pissed off. They've all been booted off the show, and they're all like feeling sad and angry and defensive. And we walked in being like, hey, check out our new rom-com, Bros. And these guys all looked at us like, who the fuck are you?
Right. And they've been there for like 8 hours. Like the filming process of that is all day long. But we very much enjoyed your spot on the episode.
You wrestled basically a guy covered in tomato sauce. How was that?
Yes, Meatball.
Yes,
Meatball. There's a contestant, if you're not watching on The Bachelorette this season, who they call, it's not his real name, but everyone calls him Meatball. And in a perfectly reality show inspired moment, Meatball, he had done an episode of The Bachelorette where he got naked or got into a Speedo and covered himself in marinara sauce for a previous challenge. So we had him recreate that, and I help him dump the marinara sauce on him. And then he, in what was a really unscripted moment, like he ran after me and tackled me playfully, not like in an angry way. And it was truly the height of absurdity. And the whole studio audience is shouting, Meatball, Meatball, Meatball. And I felt, this is reality at its time. This is reality TV at its peak, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
And honestly, after watching Bros, I feel like that moment sort of fit well with the movie too, which is very funny. I feel like when everyone watches it, they'll know what I'm talking about. But it did definitely fit in. And you sing in this movie. You have a song.
I do.
It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Did you intend to sing in this movie, or did that just naturally come up?
No, I did not actually. And in fact, I really fought against it.
Okay.
Because I thought, it's kind of one of those cliched rom-com things that happens, and it doesn't happen in real life and all. And we were really trying to keep it real. And I don't want to give it away, but it was actually, we were a couple of weeks into shooting the movie, and Luke, who again plays my boyfriend in the movie, Luke McFarlane, he's so wonderful in it. We had a conversation late night on set about the music we listen to in real life. Because Luke and we didn't know each other really that well before the movie started. I mean, we'd gotten to know each other through the casting process, but we weren't friends. And so, which I think kind of worked to our advantage, because we had that little bit of mystique, that little spark that you only have with people that you know a little bit, but you don't fully know them. And as our characters were discovering each other, we were discovering each other off screen, and in one of those conversations, we talked about what kind of music he likes. And that inspired a musical moment in the movie, is all that I will say. Yes. But that happened literally, that was not in the movie when we started shooting. And I went to Nick Stoller and our producers, and I said, I know this is crazy, but, and I know we're shooting this scene in like a week, but Luke and I had a conversation and it inspired me to write something. And I'm hoping we can put it into the movie. And to everyone's credit, we did. And I should mention, another reason that could happen is because the composer of the music in Bros, it's not a musical, but the score of Bros is written by the legendary Mark Shaman, who wrote so many rom-com scores. He wrote the score to When Harry Met Sally and The First Wives Club and The American President and Sister Act and all these like classic comedies that I grew up loving. And then he agreed to write the score for Bros. And, it was so magical.
Yeah, it's just, as much as you want a rom-com to feel real, you also sometimes have to play into those rom-com tropes where, like, would there ever be a flash mob in
Friends with Benefits? I was going to say that.
Grand Central, like, no, dedicated for you, no, but you want to have those moments, which I think created a great moment for this movie. But we are also big fans of the other projects you have done and things you've done. And Billy on the Street is one of the funniest things that's truly ever been created. And we have tried to do man on the street type stuff before. And I think a lot of people say, oh, that's so easy. I'll just go put together a little man on the street video and it'll be great. It's so hard.
Right.
Oh my God. It's so hard.
Yeah. I mean, so much credit to you, because I think a lot, not even just us, I think a lot of people here at Barstool have tried to tackle that and only a few have really been able to do it. So I can't even imagine. I mean, you've really perfected it.
Well, thank you. But yeah, it's one of those things, we've had all these big celebrity guests on the show, like really successful, well-known actors. And we've had everyone from Michelle Obama to, Chris Evans and Mariah Carey and all these icons on the show. And they're obviously like incredibly, incredibly skilled, brave, talented people, all of them. But they don't realize until they get there. They always look at me midway through like, oh, wow. Like, I didn't realize, like, this is hard. Like, this takes an insane amount of energy and you're improvising the entire time. It's not scripted. You're thinking on your feet and you're dealing with strangers and you're dealing with the streets of New York, which is what makes the show work.
Yeah.
But it's also what makes it, difficult. It's challenging. And, to keep it up to the standards of comedy, that we've always tried to, it's definitely the two hardest things I've ever had to do professionally were writing Bros and Billy on the Street in different ways, different types of challenges. But and also I hope those are the two best things I've ever done. And the things, and I've gotten to do some really wonderful things, and I'm very lucky. But Billy on the Street and now Bros are like those two really. I those are the ones I'm so far most proud of, and really, but they were really hard, and I hope it, it paid off.
Did your nerves ever die down, or was it always that same adrenaline rush?
You mean for Billy on the Street? When I first started doing it, I remember vividly the first day I tried to do it. I had to circle Washington Square Park in the West Village a few times before I even had the nerve to walk up to one person.
Yeah.
And as the years went on, I mean, I have been doing it for a really long time. So in its own completely bizarre way, it starts to become your job. And you do get used to it. But it's always really hard. I can't drop character. And that's not a job you can phone in, like if I phone it in, we're not getting funny material, and that day is lost, and we've lost that money and that time, and we're not going to get what we need. So it's a tough one, but it's also the reason I have everything. And it's the reason I got to make Bros probably. And boy, those Billy on the Street clips on TikTok, I don't even post them. My fans post them, and they are as popular as they've ever been. It's startling to me. There are absolutely kids watching those clips on TikTok who were not born when I started doing it. And that's amazing. I mean, I'm proud of it. I created that by myself. And after a lot of years of the powers that be telling me I was too this or too that, too gay, too this, too edgy, too loud, too New York, too smart, too whatever. And I got to point to all those views online and say, you're wrong. There's an audience here. And the fact that I'm a little different is a strength, not a weakness.
Absolutely. And I think it shows. And when a show like that, when it gets to the point where I'm sure it got difficult to even keep doing, because it did reach that level where you sometimes you lose the authenticity. You go up to someone, they're like, well, is this Billy on the Street? Like I gotta have my answer ready to go. But it is so good. But Billy, thank you so much for joining us. This was amazing. Everyone can go see Bros in theaters September 30th. It's really great. I think we haven't gotten a good rom-com in theaters in a while, so this is a perfect reason to head to the movies, get your snacks, and enjoy a good heartfelt movie.
Yeah, it really will make you laugh out loud and make you feel good. We're in a very bleak world, and we need uplifting, funny, feel-good movies just as much as we need dark, gritty superhero movies.
Yep,
absolutely.
And we don't get a lot of these. And I'll also say, yes, it's about a gay couple, it's about LGBTQ people, but we need our straight fans and friends and allies to get out there and support us, because there's an assumption in Hollywood that straight people don't want to see these movies. And I don't think that's true. I think funny is funny, and something that makes you laugh and moves you. It doesn't matter who it's about if it's done right. And so everyone get out there, see Bros. And thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I put my stamp on that. Yes. We laughed out loud. It is that funny. We promise. So you should everyone should go see it. Thank you so much, Billy.
Thank you so much. It was so great meeting you.
In studio next time.
Yeah, next time, definitely.
And I'll bring Billie Eilish. So
Perfect.
Great. Bye.
Bye. Thank you again.
You too.
All right, that wraps up this episode of Chicks in the Office. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll be back on Monday, and I don't want to put the full guarantee, but I'm pretty sure Rhea's going to be back, and I'm sure she's going to have a lot to say to make up for the week that she missed. So stay tuned for that.